some people are just not your people, and that's okay. And sometimes the people who are not your people are the people who are in your family. So I have been really doing a lot of healing for what feels like my entire fucking life. And recently, I think I've been making some major breakthroughs, and they always say that it has to get worse before it gets better. And today was one of those days where it got worse of sorts, but where I used to catastrophize it and allow all of my emotions to fuel this negative thought pattern and be in this hole and woe is me and all of that, I actually feel really good. And the reason I feel really good is because I recognize that it has to get worse before it gets better. There were a lot of dynamics in my life that I would just kind of take because they were family. And I'm not going to go into the specific relationships because I really want to protect their privacy. What I will say though is that some people, they just don't like you, okay? They may have to love you because they're in your family, but something about you just irks them. And every time they can throw that at your face, they're going to do it, okay? You could be acting as perfect as possible, but there's still going to be something that they're going to dislike, and they're going to throw so much shade at you, try and guilt and shame you into believing that you're a terrible person because that's how they feel themselves, and your very presence triggers them for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is. I'm not going to act like I haven't been the villain sometimes. I've definitely been the villain in some people's stories. But if you want to get to a place where you can live a good life and you can live a successful life, you have to accept the fact that sometimes you're going to be the villain in other people's stories. And are you going to just accept that and move on with your life and prosper and channel all of that energy into something positive? Or are you going to allow yourself to be a perpetual victim who never gets any of the things that they really want in their life? And the decision that I made today is that, you know what? I am on the upward trajectory, okay? I am going for my dreams. I don't care what's going on right now. Yeah, sure, it was a little annoying that I had to deal with it, but I actually feel really bad for the people in my life who they have a big blow up and they're mad for months, years. They just hold on to this anger, this vitriol that they have towards me, towards someone else, and it stops them from actually living the life that they truly want. And that sucks. You gotta have sympathy for that, empathy for that, you know? Because people are so entrenched in their myrrh and muck, and they have no idea how to get out of it. But the thing that I decided to do is that I decided to get out of it. I decided to take dominion over my life and recognize that it's all about how you perceive different situations. If you perceive a situation as bad, oh my gosh, this is horrible, then that's what it's going to be. If you perceive a situation as, okay, this is telling me that it's going to be time for me very soon to move on to something new because I'm no longer in alignment with this level of life that I've been living, as well as the people who are in that level, okay? So that is how you have a perception shift, and then those things that used to annoy you won't annoy you anymore. And I had a moment, I was angry for like 3 to 5 minutes, but then once I got my feelings off and I really felt them and I let them do their thing for a few minutes, I was able to close the door on that and move forward. And now I'm thinking about the possibilities. Now I'm thinking about, where does my life go from here? This is really exciting. I have a lot of things in the works, and I know that this, in a sense, had to happen so that I can really close the door on a plan that I had before. Oh, I'm going to do this for a little while, blah, blah, blah. Because now it seems that the universe is pushing me to make a change quicker than I thought. And the fact that I'm able to be so level-headed when usually I would get very frustrated and be cursing this person out, cursing that person out, which I did a little bit of that But it wasn't cursing out in the sense of like, fuck you, da da da. I was just like, stop talking to me like that. Like, don't talk to me like that. Because one thing for me is that I would really close my mouth when it came to people saying mean shit about me. People in my own family telling me, oh, you suck at this. Oh, you're this and that and that. And I'm like, why are you trying to put me down like this? Like, if you're talking to me and that's how you want to talk to me, don't talk to me at all. I don't need you to be in my life if you're going to talk to me that way. Because at what point do I believe that I deserve better? It doesn't matter what our relationship is. If you're going to want to talk to me a certain way because that's how you want me to feel, you want me to feel small so that you feel big, you don't need me in your life. I can revoke access to me like that. And that's what I've decided to do. And maybe that's what you should do with some people in your life. It doesn't mean that you're better than them. It doesn't mean that you're worse than them. It doesn't mean anything except the fact that you've decided that, hey, I deserve better, because you do deserve better. When you truly believe that you deserve better, then you do better and you set better boundaries so that people can't talk to you any which way, because that's how it should be. Why is it that we allow these people, just because of a familial relationship, to talk to us crazy? Like, I'm sorry, absolutely fucking not. No, okay? You can't even let people in your family talk to you a certain way, because if you're allowing people in your family to talk to you a certain way, that means you're going to allow people at work to talk to you a certain way, and that is not what's going to happen, okay? That's not how you rise up and become the greatest version of yourself. You become the greatest version of yourself when you recognize that you are so special and you deserve optimal treatment. And anybody who's not treating you in that way and is treating you like shit, doesn't see your value, they need to go, okay? They need to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm feeling really good. This is how I decided to channel my energy today, because I always want to do something constructive, especially now, as opposed to destructive. And for a lot of my life, I spent so much time not feeling my feelings. That's why I would smoke the weed. That's why I would drink the alcohol. That's why I would do other drugs. That's why I would be hanging out with people who weren't the best to me, who I didn't necessarily vibe with, but because I didn't feel like I was worthy of something better. But now I believe I am. And hopefully you believe you are too.